I reckon he's going to get the KO on Jiri Prochazka here. That left hook on the chin. We're bound to see it. I reckon it's going to happen. Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira takes place this weekend in the main event of UFC 295, Prochazka versus Pereira, and I can't wait for this main event in the light heavyweight division. Massive matchup, light heavyweight world championship on the line. I know Jiri never really lost his belt, but he vacated it so that Jamal Hill could fight Glover Teixeira for it, and then Jamal Hill ended up getting injured, so he vacated it for Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira, and at this rate, the winner of this is going to get injured and vacate it for the winner of Ankalaev versus Walker 2. So, I won't get too excited about the future of the champion here. I do believe that Alex Pereira is going to beat Jiri Prochazka this weekend. I am a massive fan of Jiri Prochazka and Alex Pereira. There is no, I'm a fan of this guy coming into play here with my prediction. I just happen to notice whenever I watch any video on Jiri Prochazka's fights, that his right hand is never by his chin when he's going in for an exchange. Never by his chin. And this could age really badly, and he could smoke Alex Pereira going for a left hook with his straight right hand on the jaw, because let's be honest, although Alex Pereira is extremely intimidating, the chin's not all that, okay? At times, the chin has been a bit worrying for him, to say the least. Maybe that was at middleweight, though. Maybe he has a better chin at light heavyweight. He took some big shots off Jan Blachowicz, but Jan didn't really land with that first round power that he has in that fight with Alex Pereira. Didn't really connect too good too often either, so I don't know what to say about that. But I will say, Alex Pereira didn't get rocked or wobbled or dropped or KO'd in his last fight. That's a good amount of momentum for him. And when it comes to the momentum of Jiri Prochazka, he's been out for a very long time with an injury that was called one of the worst in UFC history. So I don't think he's going to have a ton of momentum and absolutely pick up where he left off being an absolute savage. I think there is going to be a moment of, oh God, it's been a year and a half. I'm in the main event of MSG fighting for a world championship when Alex Pereira has been so active recently in his career. So active. And if you look at Alex Pereira's career as well, he's had how many UFC fights? I think he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 UFC fights, and 4 of them have been against former or current world champions. Pretty weird how that works out. Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya, Jan Blachowicz. He's made for the big spotlight. Now he's fighting Jiri, and I think he's going to land that left hand purely because Jiri leaves his right hand by his waist. And it's a worry for me because I'm watching all of these highlights that they're putting up there about Jiri Prochazka, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know what I mean? Good highlights. They're really, really good highlights. It's great promo video. It really is great promo video. But his right hand's by his waist. And he fires it from his waist, which catches a lot of these fighters by surprise. Because he's like taller than them. He has a bladed stance. He can stay low and spring up into him with that straight right hand. For a tall dude like Alex Pereira, I don't think he's going to be able to go for as many weird angles like that where things are coming up from his hip to fire off against a taller opponent or what will be maybe a minorly taller opponent than him. I also think that Alex Pereira is going to catch him doing that. And I think he's got enough skill in his arsenal, being the glory champion and being one of the best kickboxers in his era. I think with momentum, he's going to be able to catch Jiri on the chin with that left hook. Again, you can go through Jiri's highlights, man. You can go through Jiri's highlights. He leaves his right hand down as he enters the exchange, eats a lot of shots, head first on the chin as well, and gets wobbled. I know he's got a good chin, but he does get wobbled in fights. He got put out by Reyes with an up kick. Not saying Pereira's going to catch him with an up kick, but still. He got concussed. He got dropped and wobbled against Glover Teixeira. I want to say twice. I don't think he got dropped twice, but he got rocked really badly in round 5. And there was a moment, I believe, in round 2 or 3. I think it was round 2 where he got dropped as well, going in for a wild exchange. And I just think if you get hit by Pereira, like you get hit by Glover and Ozdemir and Dominic Reyes, who he also got rocked by, it's not going to be good because he's going to really find his follow-up shot on you. And that might be the one that puts you away for good. That's my honest opinion. And I don't think it's going to take until the 5th round. A lot of people are judging Pereira's power by the fact that he's only got a finish over Strickland, which, by the way, is very difficult to do. Extremely difficult to do. And he finished Adesanya, and it wasn't that impressive the way he finished him. He didn't have a ton of power. It was round 5. He was exhausted. I don't see this going into the later rounds. I think this is going to be a 1st or 2nd round finish, and I reckon Pereira's going to be the one to do it. Jiri got rocked by Ozdemir. Jiri got rocked by Reyes. Jiri got rocked by Glover. Got rocked by... Those are all of his fights in the UFC, and now I'm thinking about it. Jesus. But yeah, he's been rocked by all of these guys. And Pereira's going to do it to a better extent, in my opinion. Also, another weakness in Jiri's game, or something that used to be a weakness in his game, that we haven't really seen UFC fighters go for on him because they're worried about the power that he's going to be swinging at him. Low kicks. Pereira's got really good low kicks, and he doesn't charge them up, and he doesn't telegraph them. There's a whole video about how he kicks so weird on YouTube, and it's literally just him flinging kicks from his hip, like no load up, no nothing, chopping at low kicks, going for the calf as well. Jiri stands so heavy on his lead leg. I think this will also be a weapon for Alex Pereira to go for. Maybe Jiri's going to flatten him. Maybe Jiri's going to do what Jiri does and charge forward like a light heavyweight Tony Ferguson and put him away. I can just see Alex Pereira coming over the top of a missed Jiri right hand and just tagging him, having him go all stumbly, and then hunting him down and finishing the job. Now, there is a part of this as well that we aren't really talking about too much. Jiri Prochazka can offensively wrestle a little tiny bit from what we've seen in his regional career, and he's got really good ground and pound. I'm not saying that he's good at like getting into full mount and then going for a finish from there, but one thing that he's really good at is placing his shots without entering the ground with an opponent. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't get caught up in half guard on top or caught up in full mount as Jailton Almeida got caught up in, not doing anything. He doesn't get caught in these positions on the ground. He frames, he throws the legs to the side, and he'll literally be stood over them, landing straight punches down towards their face, because he does have, I believe, an 80-inch reach, if I'm not mistaken. He's got a really, really weirdly long reach. I think it's 80 inches of reach he has. I'm just going to check it right now just to make sure so I'm not waffling to you guys. But he's really, really good at ground and pound. He does have an 80-inch reach. I just don't think he's going to be all switched on early here. I don't think he's going to be all good early. I think Pereira's going to have a lot of opportunity here. And I think Jiri, when he covers up against... It's not like he's so good at like weaving and bobbing and then catching someone with a shot. A lot of Yuri's best work is charging forward and his opponent like succumbing to the pressure of him charging forward against him. Like Reyes would cover up and fire back, but then Jiri would charge in again and Reyes would sort of cover over a bit against a cage and Jiri would start working his body. Even Ozdemir got a little bit panicky. If you remember, like, Jiri landed a head kick on him that got a reaction out of him and he kind of buckled a second and he was like, oh God. Jiri came crashing forward and he just sort of put his arms out there like, and then got hit by a 1-2 on the chin. I think Pereira's oddly calm under pressure against a cage. Even when he's rocked, he still stays calm and moves with shots well. I reckon he's going to get the KO on Jiri Prochazka here. That left hook on the chin. We're bound to see it. I reckon it's going to happen. Plus, he's been active. Plus, this is his second fight at light heavyweight as well. Plus, he survived a whole round with Jan Blachowicz on his back and then came back in the second and third to win. Very, very close fight, but he did that at elevation. I just trust him to get this one done. You know what I mean? He's in his prime, doing his thing. He's got momentum. He just fought recently. He's right back in there. He's now going to be able to build himself. I literally don't know why I picked him to beat Jan Blachowicz. He shouldn't have won that fight. That should have been a lesson of what not to do. That should have been an absolute lesson of what not to do. He got KO'd by Adesanya, I want to say in April. And then he came back to fight Jan Blachowicz in October. No, in July. Oh my God. Yeah, July. Obviously not October. That would be a couple weeks ago. But still, got KO'd by Adesanya in April. Badly KO'd, by the way. and then fought 3.5 months later against Jan Blachowicz after being viciously KO'd by Israel Adesanya. Crazy. And I think that's going to add to it, you know what I mean? He can now build himself up to light heavyweight. He's not just going to be a middleweight with a little bit of extra body fat on him now. I reckon he's going to be a big light heavyweight. Fill into the weight class a little bit, which is crazy to say because he already seems big for the weight class. But I just see Jiri coming forward, Alex Pereira shifting back, getting Jiri's respect, and then Jiri sort of sits at range for a bit, and Pereira starts chopping at his leg, and Jiri maybe lands as he goes for the leg, and then they get into another exchange, and they both survive, and eventually, after a few more low kicks, I think we're going to see Jiri start stepping in a little bit worse off of that lead leg, and that's where Pereira's going to time his left hook, wobble Jiri all over the place, stuff a takedown, knee the body, push him up against the cage, start ripping him with some combos and finish him. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.